Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? I'm chuckling because just before I was appearing on screen, I started to water and itch, and I'm like trying to make it stop. So anyway, how's everyone doing? Let me see who's in today. Say hi to me. I'd love to see who's watching. Um, as you know, I'm Lewis Maybe, global psychic medium intuitive. And this is my show, Ask Lewis. Um, I don't see any comments. Is it not working again? Oh, there is. Hello, Bruce. Yes. Okay, thank God. Phew. Bruce is coming in from Facebook. This is awesome. Uh, so let's dive in. Keep saying hi because I want to see everyone saying hi. I love to. There's Angela. How are you, Angela? Good afternoon to you too. Just because of where you live, and so I want to talk today. Hello, Pamela. I want to talk today about what I do. Everyone knows that I'm a psychic medium, but it's like it's one of the questions I get asked often is hello, Marcy, is how do I do what I do? Hey, Christine. And so I thought I'd break this down a little bit tonight so that people that might be tuning in for the first time might have a little bit more familiarity of how I work, and how I get my questions or my answers to your questions and all that sort of thing. So the psychic spectrum is the spectrum of energy that I read from. And um, I don't have one specific way of how spirit communicates with me. I'm fairly open to any kind of uh, connection. So sometimes I'll hear a whisper through spirit, or I will get a nudge, or I will see something, whether it be like in a movie kind of thing, or a video, or even just flashes or glimpses of like snapshots. And I've just been able to put them together. One of the things that spirit loves to do, my spirit guides are jokesters. And so one of the games that they love to play with me is point and talk. So I'll be doing a reading and all of a sudden I'll get like, look at your lamp. I'm like, so I'll look at my lamp and I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden something comes out that connects with the lamp. And so quite often I'll be just doing my thing and talking about a certain topic, but for whatever reason, I guess spirit finds it to be important for me to focus on an object to read the energy from the object. Even though the object belongs to me, I can still interpret it for the reading of how it would fit into the person I'm reading uh, for his life. Um, I Because I'm also a medium, I am able to communicate with excuse me, passed away loved ones. And with the mediumship, it depends. Sometimes what happens is, excuse me, sometimes it happens where they want to show me their death experience. So they'll walk me through their death experience, what they looked like, what was happening around them at the time that they were passing, and that sort of thing. And that's typically when a spirit, hey Tammy, that when a spirit has more recently passed away, like say for the last couple of years. If they've been passed away for a long while, they will likely tell me, not show me, but tell me their death experience. But then they usually will revert back to about the time that they were 30. Because that, for whatever reason, us as humans, that's a golden age for spirits to connect with for some reason. I don't even know. I've never even asked anyone because it didn't really even cross my mind to ask. So I want to know from you, what do you think are my most asked about topics in a reading? Write them in the comment section. What topics would be my top 5 questions that people want to ask or know about in their lives? Some of them are pretty obvious, just FYI. No one's commenting. Or maybe there's a delay. Take a wild guess. What do you think are my most asked topics of what people want to know in a reading? Connection with their past loved ones, money, love, money, and health. Great ones, yes. For sure. So yeah, like you're kind of on it, Angela and RC. My top 5 questions are career, romance, family friendship, finances, and mediumship, in that order. Those are my number one question is typically career driven. And then it follows romance, and then the family and the friendships, and then anything to do with finances, and then my mediumship. And there's also well, I got to show this, Pam. Will I win the lottery? Will I move? Will I find love? Will I change jobs? Yes, except for the lottery. I really, lotteries are a funny thing. So I can tell when someone will win or will earn or gain money. I don't, and I never have tapped into lottery because, quite frankly, if I could tap into the lottery, do you think I'd be here right now? Oh no, I'd be elsewhere, somewhere where it's sunny and warm and doing my own thing. But every time that I've said to someone that they're coming into money, I usually can give them the direction of where it's coming from. And sometimes it will be winning through a lottery or that sort of thing. But I can't tell numbers. I just don't have that ability. I don't know if anyone does have ability. Christine said health, finances, children, parents, life expectancy. Yep. Life expectancy. You know what's really interesting about that, Christine, is that I don't get that much anymore. The odd time, and really, it used to be maybe 10, 20 years ago, for whatever reason, that was like kind of popular. Like that was at least a few times a week with readings. But I don't really get that unless they're my clients that are aged. And they're like, let's wrap this up. Like, how long do I gotta still live? That kind of thing. So Camilla says, good evening. How are you, Camilla? Lisa says, hello. So yeah, it's really interesting that I don't get the life expectancy much anymore. So let's dive into kind of like careers. And some of the common questions that I get with careers are like, is there a new direction for me with career? Am I going to get promoted? Should I go after that job, or should I quit here or move there, or that sort of thing? And I one of the things with the career stuff, it has a lot now to do with job satisfaction. It's about that work-life balance that they are seeking. Hello, Nadine. How are you? It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Mariella. I am having a great day. And so with and growth, like a lot of people want to lean into growth, and especially after COVID, and a lot of us were able to work from home and that sort of thing. If you hear a meow, Cleo just walked into the room, so there you go. And so with the growth is all about, how do I keep my balance of being at home more often, but yet continue to grow? So it's a switch on the growth of, I need to I need to go to the next level, or I need, but it's more so about the growth, about how do I balance. Uh, Karen says, "Hi, Lewis. Hi, Karen. How's my workplace look? Dirty, very dirty." Oh, that is awesome, Nadine. I'm so glad that you're doing well, doing well. And so, and it's much more about job satisfaction. But I also find that a lot of people are looking at some sort of side hustle, maybe because of financial pinches, because of the economy right now, and and that sort of thing. But a lot of times it's about the balance of the career, still being able to move forward in the career, and yet not feeling like they have to be tied down like they once were before COVID, for example. And for me, how I tap into those energies is, um, well, let's see, which is a recent one that I really dug into. There was one last week. I was doing a reading, and the person was in a huge crossroads with career. And so um, she didn't know if she wanted to stay, or if she wanted to go, or if she wanted to go back to school, or she didn't know if she wanted to just fly and just do her own thing and just like leap and just hope that she lands. Like, she was truly at a crossroads. And so what I was able to do for her is to take her off the cliff, that crossroads cliff. And I was able to give her instructions on points to hit so that she can line herself up for the best opportunity. Now, when I was talking with her, I did see a significant shift in her career on a two-step basis. One was that the current position that she was in was going to become extremely challenging because of people changing above her in her management team, and they were going to cause chaos. But that would deplete her satisfaction in her job. But it was also more so about her not feeling like she was being wanted there already. And so I was able to distinguish what path she would be best for her. And she actually emailed me, I think yesterday, and she just said, "I took some of your advice already, and I did this, this, and this, and it seems to be working." And so I'm like, good stuff, congratulations. So if you're dealing with any kind of career issues, like I'm a very strong intuitive in that field of career, because I'm able to step back and um, look at all the variables, because that's something that I do in split seconds. Like, sometimes I'm watching like 300 TV screens kind of vibe, and I'm like, so so if you ever had a reading with me and I'm like looking up and then my eyes start to dart and I start doing like this and that, it's because I'm watching energy action, and it's filling in gaps for me, and it's filling in spaces for me as well. And so I'm able to get the storyline and get the sentences out there for anyone. um, I'll get to that in a second, Nikki. Um, so with the career, it's so important for you to understand and know. And another thing about career, and this is actually post career, is I'm retired now. What should I do? In fact, that's actually something that happens or gets discussed a few times a week now. There are these baby boomer generations that are starting to retire, and they are needing to figure out what they want to do, because they don't want to go back to work. They don't want to. Hey, Lisa, thanks for joining us. They want, a life of leisure, but they don't know how to do it, because for the past 40-ish years, whatever, they've only identified as employee. And so for the more than 50% of their day and during the week, they were working. And so to get out of the mindset of what should I do now, um, it I'm able to help with that as well as to do certain things depending on what's happened in your past, especially with your career, because like if you were like a manager and that sort of thing and you're used to managing people and now you don't have anyone to manage, how do you fill in that void? How do you fill up that cup? So I'm able to get some answers out to people with those kind of needs. So yeah, and Bruce knows exactly what I'm talking about with his retirement, but he found his little passion project, so I'm happy for him. um the next thing is romance, love life. um One of the love life love life is probably the most sensitive of these topics, because most of you that book readings with me, yeah, they want to know about the career, but it's the relationship that is the most sensitive, because I'm going to tell you this right now, and I tell this to everyone. And if anyone that's ever had a reading with me knows this, I will always tell you the truth. I will give you bad news in a way that it's not bad news. Because if you need to know, I'm going to tell you. And so when I tap into career and love life, or sorry, for love life, it's more likely, very often, more frequently, it is all about ending a relationship. And you and most of the times people know it, they just don't want to accept it, and they're desperately hanging on for whatever reason. There might be children involved. um uh and it's like something that uh I need to explain to the person that, thank you, Nikki, that um how to get out of the relationship and to watch out for when you exit the relationship. I had the other day someone that was in a reading with me, and I'm like, okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And you knew exactly where I knew exactly where she knew I was going. So I'm like, take a deep breath. And I said, let's focus. And I just went up one side and down the other of what was dysfunctional about the relationship. And I said to her during this, stop me when I'm wrong. And she didn't stop me once. And I said, you know you're not supposed to be there. Your partner knows they're not supposed to be there in the relationship together. But yet you're keeping it together. Why? And then she says, I don't know. And I said, well, let me tell you. It's because you're afraid to be alone. You're afraid of not finding love again. You're at a certain age. Hello, Karen. And I just did the laundry list of why she wanted the relationship to exist, not to necessarily be in, but to exist. And so, hi, Nancy. And so when I was going through her how to move out of the relationship, I said, I'm going to warn you right now. You might feel like he's passive and he's ready to go and he's going to roll over and just walk away. He will initially, but you're going to have to get a lawyer, because someone's going to be whispering in his ear and they're going to tell him what to do, how to do it, and how to go after it. And I said, you're going to be, and she's like, oh, no, that's not going to happen. Maybe it was a couple weeks ago. Anyway, she calls me, leaves a voicemail message, and she says, you're right. He just got a lawyer, and he's not going with what we talked about. I'm like, just telling you. So I'm going to be honest, because I care, because I want you to have the best life possible. And I want you to be prepared for, I'm chuckling because it's Dana! Because whenever I message Dana, I always go, Dana! In exclamation points. So, hi, Melissa. How are you? So with relationships, I want you, when you're booking your reading and you want to talk about relationships, and you know that you're not on stable ground, I'm going to tune into it and I'm going to tell you the truth because I only want what's best for you. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to waste my time. I know in most cases, a lot of people will be, hi, Kendra. Well, welcome and thank you for finding me. I appreciate that so much. Um, Take a seat, grab some popcorn, get some drinks, be relaxed and welcome. And with being able to know what to do, and most times people will delay it and they won't try, they'll just exist in nothingness. But you're coming in hot, that is for sure, Dana. But what you're going to be doing is just delaying your next step. And that's when it gets really, really mucky, and it will definitely, um, um, it will definitely hurt more the longer you stay. So, hi, Krista, how are you? Oh, Melissa, guess what? You were right about me and my new partner. There you go. um, I also tap into the finances. So, um, thank you. Yes, I love it, Krista. And with the finances, um, a lot of times people ask me about, please, first of all, please don't ask me about specific stocks, because specific stocks in general are too volatile, and because they're fabrications, they're man-made, they're controlled by low vibration energy. So trying to invest something in specific stocks is like trying to catch a fart in a windstorm. You might get lucky, and I even hate using that word lucky. You might get fortunate, but stocks in a psychic, a true psychic, it. So if someone were to ask me, should I do the stocks? I would be, my would, depending on the person, obviously, but what I might say to them is, I would, based upon your energy, I would maybe go after low risk, medium, or high risk. Um, and with with the financial stocks and that sort of thing, like I said, it's all man-made. So if I'm pausing, it's because I'm just reading a comment, just an FYI. So but what I can do for finances is, like, and again, I can tap into, if you're going to be coming into money. If I don't bring it up, you can ask, but the answer will be no, because I tend to like to bring up, oh, by the way, there's money coming towards you. And then I try to tap into, to the best of my abilities, to see where it's coming from, where the revenue stream is coming from. And but I can also tap into, like, debt, for example, like, what are some ways I can get a debt? And I can, based upon your energy, I can give you examples on what you can do to move the debt away from you. And again, just because I'm saying something, it doesn't mean, and this is with anything, this is with career, love life, health, whatever. Just because I say something, it doesn't mean it's going to happen or just fall in your lap. It will happen when you take the appropriate action, because my reading is based upon your action. Unless I say someone's going to tap you on the shoulder, that's fine. But if I'm telling you, and I'm not saying, someone's going to tap you on the shoulder, then you must take the action that I'm suggesting, or find what I'm suggesting in the action to make it work for you. Therefore, you're going to have a more successful outcome. But please do not think that you're going to come to a reading with me and I'm going to say what I need to say to you, and then you do absolutely nothing because you just wasted money. Because more the chances than not, things will not fall into place. You need to be proactive and active in your life, especially when you come to a reading with me, because I'm here to guide you out of any rut, out of any quandrum or quarry or anything like that, so that my goal for everyone, even if I don't know you from Adam or Eve, my goal is for you to have the best life possible with what you're given and what you create. So if you're in the mindset of positivity and happiness and love, and I don't mean that you're blowing rainbows out of your butt, it just means that that's how you choose, you will have a more abundant life. And yes, shit happens, life happens, adulting happens from time to time, but it's what we do with those moments that we learn to pivot and move back to our natural balance. So, just keep that in mind when you're booking, because I'm not going to do woohoo. I have no crystal balls to speak of, and I don't wear a turban, and no. So you're going to get the real deal with me, just fair warning. But I've been doing this 34 years professionally. I've been doing this all my life, and I built a reputation of just word of mouth. And I am in 34 different countries. People from 34 different countries have sought and seek out my services. And so it's not something, I take it to heart when I connect with you. And I just want you to have fun, be open, and just enjoy the process of learning what your potential is through a reading with me. So thank you very much, Karen. Kendra, I'll get to your random, and actually, I'll just say yes, because it's an easy question. It's an easy answer. Random, I hope it doesn't disrupt your thoughts, but are you able to see or send spirit babies? Yes. So if a baby that maybe have been aborted, or maybe have miscarried, or even a baby that has passed away shortly after birth or passed during birth, if they're around, and the only reason I say that is because sometimes they come in a little bit murky at first, but when I pick them up, they can come through. So thank you, Angela. Mary says, clap, clap, clap. Thank you very much, Mary. The next thing I want to talk about is the personal and the spiritual growth stuff. And I started doing something earlier this week, and I'm starting to make it I want to make it a habit, because, and I thank you for everyone that's reached out to me last week. I wasn't able to be on live because I've had prior commitments, but making a post about me having prior commitments totally slipped my mind. I was adulting way too much, way too hard last week. So thank you for those who reached out saying, are you doing a show, or what happened? Did I miss a show? No, you didn't. I was just really busy doing adult stuff. And it's, I have been like that for a bit now. So what I've started to do this week, this Sunday, because I was in meditation, and I'm like, I want to make sure that throughout my day, I'm recognizing the miracles. I'm recognizing the opportunities to grow from or with. And so I call it, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to be present. So I'm calling it my highs and my opportunities. So every day at the end of the day, I tap into what was my high of the day, because that, again, being able to think or recall that is making me become aware and present of the day. How did I feel? How did I process? Did I need more grounding? That sort of thing. And you can do this too, maybe start with once a week or whatever. But then I also look at my opportunity. It's not the high and the low, because I want to keep everything high. But so instead of the low, I'm calling it the opportunity, because the opportunity is something that you can grow from, that you can gain, and that you can create into a high. So I haven't done this yet today because it's not the end of the day, but I thought I would do this with you. And so I'm not, this is not pre-planned or pre-thought of. I just thought I'd share it with you just to help you all maybe tap into this energy as well and for yourself and go through this little exercise course. So my high today so far would be um, hmm, there was actually quite a few. Um, I think my high today would be about feeling accomplished. I changed my routine this morning, and typically Mondays and Wednesdays are extremely busy days from morning to night. And so I decided to change my routine today and grace myself a little bit more space, a little bit more time with preparation and breathing. And I just don't mean like sitting down and breathing, but just focusing on breathing in general. And I find that, to be quite honest, these lives give me anxiety because I'm here by myself. If I'm talking to someone, not a problem. You've seen me with Michael before, you've seen me with Debbie before. That's great because Michael MCs and I'm just there to look pretty and to share my wisdom. But doing lives by myself, it's like it's like, how do I make sure that I'm engaging with you? Because the only feedback I get is from a comment, which are great, but I love that live interaction of face-to-face kind of thing, even if it's through a Zoom or whatever. But anyway, so that would be my high, is changing my routine today and making it work more for me and being able to push off a few things that I typically would do first thing in the morning that I didn't. And my opportunity was, what's my opportunity? Hi, Val. Um, hmm. This is not a client, a second client. This is are not. This is a person that had a misunderstanding with something that she had with someone else, and for some reason my name was brought into it. And so she called me up for clarity. And to be honest, I didn't really know what she was talking about at first. And I think it was because how I pieced it together was someone else came for a reading, and I was talking about someone, and um, the person that called me up mentioned that I mentioned her name, and I okay, but then when I tapped into her energy, it was like, don't you have someone else with the same name? And she goes, actually, I do. I said, then it's for her, not you. And she went, oh my God, that makes so much more sense. So my opportunity for me was, maybe I wasn't clear with the person I was reading, and to make sure that in the future for me, if I'm feeling any kind of fuzziness from the person, to be even more direct or more right into so that would be my opportunity, is because I want to grow, I want to learn, I want to be better as well, so I there it's important for me. um there is something, someone's replying. Great. Someone's replying right here. D. I was mentally and physically drained after my reading. You know me so well and only knew things I knew, no guesses at all. You didn't rose color anything, and I was very skeptical, I admit. So that actually happens quite a bit, because when someone has a reading with me, I'm like, and do this, and I'm just like, I'm pulling, and that's why I record your sessions, is because you're gonna re-listen, or you can if you want, but when you re-listen to it, you'll be like, oh my God, I totally missed that because I was so focused on what he just said 2 seconds ago. And so even after the reading, a lot of people will tell me they are mentally and physically drained because a I hope to have helped you identify boulders and to help you and identify how to move those boulders in your life, those obstacles. And and so when you finally see the clearing, when you finally get clarity about topics that have been confusing or muddied in your life, it it's like this big gas of air going, oh my God, it's relief. And you'll feel mentally and physically drained. In fact, that's what happens a lot of times when I do my healing sessions with my clients all over the world. Most of them I do remotely because they are all over the world, and they will just report back because I email them what I did during their healing session, and so they always report, oh yeah, I felt you because I wanted to lay down and take a nap at that time. Da, da, da. Because I always schedule the time of when I'm going to do it, so everyone knows. But thank you for that feedback, Dee. I really appreciate that. Lisa says, now, how do you interpret friendships where you give more than you receive? Can those friendships last? No. Well, they can if that person levels up. If they decide to rank up and start becoming a friend, like a true friend, authentic, that's willing and able to meet you somewhere and not give you only 5% while you're giving 95%, if they're going to remain in their 5% bubble zone, then it's not a friendship. You are likely their therapist on some level, and you should be charging them or invoicing them. That's my advice. That's not a friendship. Hinson Booth. Mary, oh, hello. Sent me friend request for your accurate reading cause I felt strong energy from your profile there. That is ferocious to your life. Very cool. Oh, no. This is not block user on Facebook. Bye, Hinson. Bye. That is someone that is nope, not gonna happen on my watch. Krista. Hi, Debbie. I'm learning how to tap and listen to my spirit team and have started meditating every day. It's really helped me be grounded. I want to channel and open the connection with people. And today, my high point was planning a new spiritual retreat program with a friend to get up and running. Yes. Do it. I re-listened to I re-listened a lot to it even after 3 years. Yes, it helped a lot and continues to help. Thank you. First thing you said was I was I was the definition of stubborn in the dictionary. It would display my photo. Yes. Yes, it would. What if you have abilities and are scared to use them and they have been passed down? How do you deal with that? Then don't use them. If you're not comfortable with your abilities, don't use them. You don't need to use them. I know how to change my oil in my car, but I don't. I take it to a mechanic or Jiffy Lube or whatever to do it for me. So even though I might have the ability to change the oil, I don't want to. So if you don't want to, don't tap into them in the sense of guide me in my daily life to make me aware of being present. And then when you get comfortable about being present, Morella, then they're going to start to nudge you of like, look over there, or what about that? And how about that? But they're not going to work with you when you're coming in scared. So please don't feel like you have to carry the torch on any level because you have certain abilities. We all have abilities. I'm not trying to diminish yours. It's just that we have all the abilities, but we always don't tap into them because we're not meant to be. And so if you just choose to just allow them to simply exist, you're going to get comfortable with that energy and that vibration. And then you're going to be able to say, hey, maybe let's try this. But the only way to grow is to get uncomfortable. Therefore, when you get uncomfortable, you grow your comfort zone. So, but your first plan is stay focused on being present and allowing the swirling or the energy or however it's coming around you to just simply exist. Make sure that you have direct boundaries. And I've said this before. One of my boundaries was when I was younger and I would see someone passing, their face would melt like wax and all it would be left is a skull. And I don't know why I said this, but I said it to whomever. If you want me to see this, then you have to show it to me a different way, because that I don't like that. And what happens is that what happens now is when I see someone in their process of passing, there's a green smog over their head, and the thicker the green smog, the closer they are to the death experience. So I hope that helps out, Morella. Diana. Thank you, Diana. Great advice. Step out of fear and into love. That's right. Love will lead and win. So we kind of got off topic a little bit, but that's okay because that's me. I have, welcome to my world. I have hundreds of millions of voices and things going on inside my head. I'm never alone. So one of the things that I wanted to do was tap into the highs and my opportunities of the day. And a lot of people come to me now about like, what's my purpose? Like, what was I meant to be here for? And I follow Mel Robbins. I think some of you might know who she is. And she did this little 16-second video and about purpose, life purpose. And sorry, I'm petting Cleo and her cat hair is flying in my face. So she heard what I'm about to say to you, she heard that and she recorded it. And I want to pass this on to you because it is so prevalent towards purpose. And what she heard someone tell her is about your purpose. Maybe your path in life is harder right now because your calling is so much higher. Just think about that for a second. Maybe your path in life is harder right now because your calling in life is so much higher. That resonated so much with me. I'm very fortunate and I'm living my purpose. In fact, I was talking to Bruce because we get together almost every Friday for dinner, and it's our catch-up recap. And I was sharing with him what I tapped into for myself about one of my purposes. And one of my purposes back in my corporate days, because I'm much older than what people think, but I'm not going to let everyone know what I am. But anyway, I used to have a corporate job. And in my corporate job, I managed a team. In my corporate jobs, I managed teams of up to like 80 to 90 people. And I really, and being what I'm doing now for 34 years, I love connecting one-on-one with people, but I miss the connection with helping people grow, like start seeing them right from the get-go, the first day of their job kind of thing, and then seeing them grow and accelerate on their career path that I have an opportunity to witness, to maybe perhaps nudge or culture or whatever. And so that's one of the things that I was tapping into with my side hustle with Epicure, because I just became a leader and I have my own team and we are doing some amazing things. So, and the reason why I do Epicure is because I don't have a retirement fund. I have to rely on my savings. I don't have a pension or nothing. And what I make from Epicure, I put into my retirement fund so that, because life is getting more expensive and I don't want to stop traveling. I don't want to budget. I don't think I've really been a budgeter because I've been very fortunate to have a blessed life in financially because of just making pretty good sense with money. But anyway, so again, soul purpose. Maybe your path in life is harder right now because your calling is so much higher. let that vibrate. Angela says, thanks, Lewis, for telling me how to build healthy boundaries to do with my family. That's for sure. And you know what? Boundaries are all a thing right now with people. More and more each day, I am discussing healthy boundaries because it's like that social media lifestyle where everyone on social media has this great life and they have an opinion, and they're going to give you their opinion, whether you like it or not. You don't need to have an opinion of certain things. Keep it to yourselves. And so that's why you create healthy boundaries. When I was a little kid, I had a scary dream. I'd imagine my nose was on an old-fashioned TV channel and switched the channels. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you, Diane. Oh, imagine my nose was on an old-fashioned TV channel and switched channels. I think that was just a scary dream, to be honest. And then she says, keep vibrating higher and above the bad stuff. Thank you, Diana. You too. So Miriella, so the spirit that follows me reacts to the question I asked. How did it react? So when, I'll use this as an example. When I'm connecting with passed on loved ones from the other side, if someone is in their family, who I'm reading for, and if it's a male, they come over my left shoulder. So that's my signal. Every single time someone comes over my left shoulder, that is the male side of the family. The right side of the shoulder is the female side of the family. So that is a reaction that is always constant with me, and I'm able to tap into and tune into the patterns that spirit shows and tells me. So when you start looking at the pattern, oh, what was I thinking when that message came in? What was I doing when that happened? Then you're going to be able to start building where the frequency wants you to land. Yes, smart to save for retirement, but I still find time to travel and meet you. Absolutely, Diana. I'm all about traveling. I'm all about traveling. And I travel as often as I can. Kathleen, I love Mel. Oh, me too. Mel, okay. Mel and I are the same age. Actually, she might be a year older than me or two. Anyway, but I wanted to be my mom. I think she'd just be such a cool mom to have. I heard her say that about the path in life and thought, wow, mic drop moment. So powerful. I also re-listened to your tapes and hear things I didn't the first time. Exactly. A lot of people do that. Like they would like, I didn't even pick that up the first time or when I was with you. So yeah. As for me, 2024 is a 12-month transformation journey, boundaries, purpose, and self-love. Absolutely. You nailed it, Kathleen. Love it. Val, Lewis, can or do you read into someone else's house if there are questions to be asked? So if I'm understanding what you're asking, Val, when people come to me, they'll be like, oh, my brother wants me to ask you a question. So because energy doesn't have a boundary, I'm able to talk about your 24th cousin 15 times removed. As long as there's energy around it, I can pick it up. And so I'm easily able to tap into different people right like in a split second, because the energy for me, because I read it so well that it just sits right in front of me. It sometimes it might be slow approaching, but I'm like, I got you and I see you, get over here, because I want to get the message out ASAP. So I think if that's what you mean, if not, maybe do a little bit more explaining of that. Where's your next destination, Diana? Someone I dated about 45 years ago tried to add me to social media, and then when I went to approve the request, he unrequested me. What was his purpose? He was being a dickhead. Plain and simple. You know, people are sometimes just jerks. And so please don't take it personally. Please don't read into it. It's just something that what I'm reading from is that he just likes to play games in general, and just like squirrel, and he's off to the next thing. So please don't read into it, Nikki, because it's nothing. He's being a twat. So ethics determines how far you can read the energy, not I guess so. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I understand that. You know, again, because my purpose here is not to scam or scheme anyone out of money, or like, I'm never going to tell you for $1,000 I can get rid of that spirit that's around you. You know, I'm not that. And so, and I derive from a very ethical source of how I want to live, how I want my intentions to be, and just be able to be a good person. And if you like me, great. If you don't like me, I'm not your cup of tea. That's perfectly fine. You know, there's thousands of pizza places in every little city and town, and they're all making money. So, I mean, if I'm not your cup of tea, there's someone else that will be it for you. So, yeah. But yeah, ethics. Yeah, I get that, Diana. That's a really cool perspective. So, she also says she wants to go back to Mexico, Riviera. Oh, I love Italy. Bruce, Italy. Dana, Italy. Nikki says, bahaha. Thanks, Louis. I figured. Absolutely. I haven't been to New Zealand. It is on my bucket list. Actually, Australia used to be on my bucket list, but it's not anymore. New Zealand, because I want to go to the vineyards. I love New Zealand wine. Love. It's one of my favorite regions for wines. So I will look you up, Angela, when I get there, because I will get there. It through the curtain rod I'm selling that had been moved from that spot. I'll book an appointment with you. Oh, for sure. Yeah, we'll dive into that. Diana says, exactly, no spying, just to help and heal. I know your intentions are good. Thank you, Diana. Yeah, and that's true. I just want everyone to be living their authentic best life. Like, it's a simple process. It's just that we as humans tend to convolute everything because we are based on fear rather than how life can be so great. I mean, we're going to stub our toes once in a while, you know, on our way to the bathroom every morning, or not every morning, but in some mornings. But it's what you do with it. Is that going to determine you to have a bad day for the rest of the day? Or are you going to be like, okay, I'm awake now, get my coffee. So, oh, Diana can hook us up with Italy, especially wine country. Love Tuscany, my favorite. That's what I want. I want a villa in Tuscany, just FYI. Nikki also loves Italy. That is amazing. Where's my thingy? So before I forget, because I always forget, please follow me on my socials. On Instagram, TikTok, and X, I'm Louis Maybe. On Facebook, you can find me under Louis Maybe Spiritual. And to book a reading, you can go to my website, and that is louismaybe.com. No Y-E-E. A lot of people will spell, well, a lot of people spell both my names wrong. So just make note of that. So, all right. Chat. Turn back chat. Thank you very much, Nikki. Thank you. Honestly, thank you. I appreciate you for taking that message and sending it to me. There's Dawn, my friend Dawn, the only Dawn I know now. You're no longer Big Dawn, you're Dawn. So anyway, and I appreciate you for tuning in. And Diane also saying, it's just energy. Do you raise it? I looked at real estate in Tuscany and elsewhere in another life, and this is good. Food and wine, travel. I think that's the trifecta of having a beautiful life: is good food, lots of travel, and some vino. And when I was in Tuscany, I don't know, when were we in Tuscany? Bruce and I are really, truly best friends. And we travel together. We travel together well. He remembers dates better than I do. Was it 2016 we went to Italy, Bruce? Anyway, we did a organic farm tour, and it was in Tuscany, and they gave us they provided us a meal with this tour, and everything that we ate came right from the farm. The pasta they made from their wheat, the protein they had in their fields, the desserts, the fruit they grew on their vine, like everything was made on that farm. The wine they had in their farm. And there was this huge commune style picnic table that like probably sat 20. Just that's what they do in Europe. Everyone is welcomed at the table. It's not like in North America where it's like table for two and yet, or table for six, but only one person is sitting at it. Like, leave me alone, that sort of thing. People love to gather in Europe. And so we were able to sit and eat this delicious meal and overlook the Tuscan hills. And those cypress trees that are pinpoint at the top. Oh my goodness. Like in the Tuscan hills, and there was that certain little hazy from the sun. Like it was a picture moment. And in fact, I have lots of pictures of it, but it was such an amazing, and the vibration, like you just felt like you were home. I loved it. So, oh yeah, I love traveling. And yeah, thanks for sharing that with us, Diana. Judy had to go out to a meeting, missed some of your live advice. You can do it on replay, Judy. Always on replay. It's on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Lewis Maybe. And I have to update my website as well to post the videos up on my website as well. So, anyway, this has been a great hour. I've enjoyed myself. I hope everyone else has as well. Say hi again. Give me a well wish that you would love to do for yourself today for the rest of the night. Yeah, just spread some love. And I hope this helped of how I do my readings and what the topics are, and that I cover. And really, honestly, there is nothing off the table. I will tell you what needs to be told to you. Even when people say, I don't want to hear bad news, I will deliver the bad news, but in the most positive way I can, so that when it's starting to line up, you'll be like, oh, he told me about that. And you'll be able to follow that bouncing ball that we created, so that it either bypasses you, or you're better prepared of how to go through it, so that you're not banged up as much as what you could be if you just ignore it and keep running head forward. So Paula says, so good seeing you. Likewise, Paula, thank you. You too have a great evening. Enjoy. The nights are long, or the days are longer, the warmer, it's just a good time. And I just want everyone to really embrace the energy of healing right now, because in the universe itself, just really quickly, in the universe itself, it is all about healing. So please take some time out of your day to tap in, and maybe at the end of the day, and go over what is my high and what was my opportunity, because that's going to be a powerful healing tool for you to be using when you start to see patterns. And when you see patterns, either write them down, record them, whatever you need to do, and look at how it's affecting you. And is it affecting you in a positive way or a negative way? And if it's in a negative way, then take appropriate actions, creating boundaries, changing thought processes, changing your vibration to a much higher, more positive vibration. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. Anyway, my name is Lewis Maybe. I'm your global psychic medium intuitive. And thank you for tuning in again. You can book a session with me at lewismaybe.com. And you can follow me on my socials, where I'm doing a lot more posting. A lot of people have commented about that. So thank you. And again, have yourself a wonderful day. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. And I can't wait to connect with you next week. Bye for now.